Okay, so how is it April already? Like, in fairness, by the time we're budgeting for our April paycheck, nearly half the month is gone already, but I just can't believe it's already April. So hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Kate and I blog about frugal living and share our real number budgets on a monthly income. Today's video is our April 15th paycheck budget with me. I'm using a budgeting workbook that I created, and you can find it along with other budgeting printables in my Etsy shop. I'll leave a link below. So last month we had a really tight budget set up due to just starting some new sinking funds, and we had our 8-week Chewy auto ship. But this month there's a little more wiggle room. So since we're paid monthly, I use an over-under approach. I overestimate our bills and expenses, and I underestimate our income. This usually leaves us with more wiggle room towards the end of the pay month. This allows us to stay within budget and give us more room to be able to pay off debt and still not really go over budget when we go over on some of our variable expenses. But the key word in all of this is estimate, because a budget is just simply an estimate. And some months we are spot on and others we are wildly off. And you know what? Each scenario is perfectly okay. So every budget with me, I start by setting up our budget calendar. And that is to say all the expenses that I'm expecting over the course of this paycheck. So from April 15th to May 13th. Since May 15th falls on a Saturday, we'll actually be paid the Friday prior, May 14th. So this paycheck is done on May 13th. Now, I'm not expecting any non-monthly bills this month, so my budget calendar layout is fairly simple. It's all standard monthly bills for us. For this pay month, I do want to remember to track our pool expenses, which should be fairly minimal this month because it's not warm enough to even attempt to open the pool until at least Memorial Day. For my own personal preferences, it's not warm enough until July. And coming up in this next pay month, I still need to talk with Hubs and A to see if we should be saving up for a replacement for A's cell phone. And I need to order some eraser wipes for A's erasers. He uses them during marching band to kind of block out a lot of the brass section. We've got the 8-week auto ship coming up for Lilo and our 2 rabbits, and Lilo's 6-month flea, tick, and heartworm medicine is actually set to reorder next month as well. I also think I have a propane order coming up. I need to double check that because they had to come earlier last time. And I also want to start looking for summer clothing sales. I know B, my daughter, may need some new clothing and shoes as she is just growing like a weed now, but I'm not really sure about the boys just yet. For income this month, we're just expecting Hubs' salary at $5,900 this month. This is what we receive in our bank account after all the deductions towards healthcare contributions, retirement contributions, federal taxes, state taxes, local taxes, on and on and on. I know that we will have some medical expenses from copays and prescription refills that I will need to get throughout this month. I also know I'm going to have some gifting and gardening expenses this month because it's just that time of year, and inevitably I'm going to have both expenses throughout the month. However, I don't count on those because I don't know the amount that we're going to spend yet. So I just like to mark them in this income section as a reminder. This month I've got our usual sinking funds that we're saving towards this year. This is all based on our previous expenses last year. I don't expect you to be saving up this amount for you. This is unique to us. So medical is $167 this month. That gives us a $2,000 over the course of the year saved up. Vision is $143. This will actually stop in June or July because that's when our exams are, and then we're done for the year. Dental is $40. It's $40 every month throughout the course of the year. Non-monthly, these are bills that we don't have every month, like our propane bill, trash bill, so on and so forth. And I save $250 for that each month over the course of the year. Gifting, this is a very broad category. This could be birthdays, Christmas, any other holidays, any donations that we do, anything that's needed for school. $260 a month. Truck is actually Hubs's company truck, and throughout the course of the year, I try to save up so that way when they pull his personal mileage and it reduces our November paycheck, we have enough to cover it. This is very low compared to previous years, so we'll see how it does, but it's based off last year's personal mileage, $24 each month. Garden is $50 this month. That sinking fund will end pretty soon. Trumpet cleaning for A's trumpet this summer is $75. A gets his wisdom teeth removed in June, and I'm expecting our out-of-pocket to be about $670, so I'm saving up $170 each month. And finally, we have enough room to start our back-to-school sinking fund, so we're saving $100 for that this month. Bills for this month, I'm budgeting the same as I did for last month. We had a lot of bills that were under what I expected, which is good, but again, I am budgeting on the higher end. For the time being, I'm leaving K-Chase blank simply because I want to see what's left over before I plug in this number and start running scenarios. So our variable expenses, most of these expenses actually haven't changed either from our March paycheck. I'm leaving most of them at the same amounts. So food is at $750. Household is $160. This is like personal care items that we need around the house, like tissues or toilet paper or dishwasher detergent, that kind of stuff. Pet is $60. We do have another auto ship coming up shortly, so I'm trying to leave this on the low end since we put her food on the auto ship. Clothing is $100. Allowance is at $40. Hair, $40. Miscellaneous, $150. And I'm adding in a school category this month. This is separate from our back to school sinking fund. And for that, I'm budgeting $60. I actually spent a lot of money on school items throughout the month of March, throughout our March paycheck, and I really wasn't expecting to, but that's coming up in our March budget review. For me, my brain works with color coding, and so that's why I'm always color coding these categories. I really like using these mild liners and Stabilo highlighters for color coding our expenses. It makes it really easy for my brain to see what categories we are going through a lot of each month. And this is especially true on our expense tracker. Our fuel category, I am actually going to increase to $200. A is in a few more after-school activities this month. B has an orthodontic appointment coming up, and it's a 90-minute one-way drive from us. I'm still waiting on O's referral to go through. This is like a really hard to find near us referral. Last I knew, they were looking about 2.5 hours from us. I still don't know if that's gone through. It's really hard to find in-person intake lists right now for this. There's going to be a lot more running around throughout this month simply because it's the nature of things right now. And therapy, the kids are still going every other week and I am still going every week. So I'm expecting 11 appointments between the 4 of us over the course of the month. So after running a quick calculation, I see that we've got about 1,000 left over, and I decide to send 950 of that to K-Chase as our snowball this month. It is a little lower than previous months, and it is lower than I would like, to be honest. But this is simply because we have 3 new sinking funds, and we have additional therapy copays that we're paying out for each month. And that's okay for the journey to take a little longer. What's important is that your money is going towards your priorities. So in the end, I'm expecting $5,900 as income, $1,009 for savings that I could fit in this category box. This really isn't set up for monthly, but I don't really know how else to modify it just yet, and I don't have the time to. $2,851 for bills, $1,360 for variable expenses under the cash envelopes section, and $635 for the remainder of our variable expenses and sinking funds that I stuffed under this debit expenses section. And that leaves us with a buffer of $45 going into the month. And this is a much better buffer than last month's at -5. And finally, for my paycheck goal this month, since we do have a lot of running around, there are a lot of appointments coming up, my paycheck goal this month is to just pack lunches and snacks to keep the miscellaneous expenses low. Our miscellaneous category is like our catch-all category for eating out, for like random trips to Michael's or Joann's or random stuff from Lowe's. Like it's a miscellaneous category for a reason, and I want to keep that category fairly low this month, especially because there's a lot of running around that I know we're going to be doing already. And my paycheck challenge this month is to restock travel snacks. It is so much easier to just have a bin of snacks that is just, you can just grab them and go. I'm not a fan of it. It's very wasteful in my opinion, especially packaging wise. And I know we can repackage with reusable containers and everything, but some days, like I don't have the brain space for it. I really don't. And I'm all about what makes it easier on you. And if that's pre-packaging in Ziploc bags, or if that's pre-packaging in reusable containers, or you know what, if that's even buying the pre-packaged portions for you, do what works for you and your sanity. So that's it for this budget with me. Click that like button if you want to see more of my budgeting videos. You want to see more of my videos in general, click that subscribe button. I also do plan with me's. It's just really hard to sit down and do a plan with me right now when I'm running around after everybody. But coming up next week is my March budget paycheck review. So if you want to see that, please click that subscribe button. And until next time, bye.